Hi, I'm Rick Kaler. Thanks for joining me. In the airport shuttle taking us to our hotel in Mumbai, I looked out the window and I thought, we're not in South Dakota anymore. At midnight, the streets of India's largest city seemed as full of people, vendors, and traffic as Times Square is at noon. I had no real comparison, though, for the garbage strewn about, beggars going from car to car when traffic stopped, the people sleeping in the sidewalks, the ramshackle condition of most buildings, and the roaming packs of stray dogs. The third poorest county in the U.S. is just 60 miles from my home, and it's no match whatsoever for the real ghettos of Mumbai, where 55% of the city's 16 million people live. Given these great dissimilarities in economic status as well as the political, religious, and cultural views, I expected to find striking differences between the Indian and U.S. financial advisor communities and their clients. But here I was surprised. I traveled to Mumbai to meet with a group of Indian financial advisors. The country's financial regulators are actively encouraging advisors to change from charging only commissions to charging fees. My role was to offer suggestions for making that transition. After spending several days observing and listening to their struggles, I concluded that about 95% of the obstacles that they face in promulgating client-centered fiduciary planning are the same as planners here in the U.S. The most frequent complaint I heard was that consumers just won't pay fees. They would rather pay a high commission they don't see rather than a low fee they painfully do see. I find the same behavior in U.S. consumers. It seems irrational, but it makes perfect sense when we understand the delusional money script of avoidance that says, if I don't see the fee, then I must not pay the fee. Just as in the U.S., Indian advisors struggle to help consumers understand the math behind hidden commissions and visible fees. While most advisors can quickly calculate the amounts, consumers still find it hard to accept the numbers. There's great resistance to writing a check, even when a planning fee is half as much as an unseen fee or commission. In my experience, most consumers have great difficulty emotionally understanding that writing a check for $10,000 for advisory fees on $1 million represents a $15,000 savings on a 2.5% wrap fee they don't see and for which no check is written. Another similarity is that those most willing to pay fees for service tend to be the wealthier clients. At first blush, one might surmise that, well, of course the wealthy are more open to paying fees because they got more money. Well, that isn't the case. The fees paid are roughly proportionate. In fact, usually smaller accounts that go fee only save proportionally more than do larger ones. The difference is that affluent or wealthy clients tend to be business owners or professionals who are familiar with employing fee-for-service consultants, like accountants and attorneys. The transition to introducing fees is slow. It requires a lot of education on the part of the advisor and willingness to listen by the consumer. Similar to where the U.S. was in the 80s, India only has a handful of pioneer fee-only planners. Most advisors wanting to switch from pushing financial products to doing comprehensive financial planning have rolled out a fee-based model first. They hope consumers will eventually embrace the advantages, which are lower cost and lesser conflicts of interest, inherent in a fee-only compensation model. In my career, I've watched and participated in financial planning's growth as a profession. It's a real privilege to be able to see it develop in India as well. Thanks for joining me.